Talent Beats.
What's going on, y'all? We're back at it again.
What up, though?
T, what's good, man? How you feeling?
Always good and glorious, man. Any day above the ground is a good day, bro. I'm
Yes.
great. I'm great.
Yes.
Always reminds me of that time we went to Chuck E. Cheese. Nah, we ain't gonna talk about that time.
Nah,
Remember that time? Well, I'm great. So my bad.
Nah, B. Just know some hearts is about to be punched out of some chests.
Woo.
But I don't live that life no more. I'm like I said.
Unless we playing basketball, right?
Nah, chill. I'm blessed and highly favored. I don't be clubbing people in the head anymore.
Y'all heard that no more, right? Nah, but how you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. Like you said, every day above ground. Got to make the most of it. You know, it's not letting the world get to me. You know, living life as best I could possibly can. You know?
Absolutely, one day at a time, right?
All right, absolutely. So, without further ado, we are on episode
Three of them.
Three.
One of them, yeah, two of them, and three of them. I will wind them.
Oh Lord, y'all didn't know Dante's Jamaican, so he can pull that shit out whenever he wants.
Nah, I be chilling.
Do you?
I do.
You sure?
I do, brethren.
Bumper
See, then you go and you ruin it by saying it like that. No.
Everything ID.
It's not ID. ID is what you have in your pocket in your wallet.
That's how you have to
No,
say
it's
it.
Irie, not
ID.
ID. I hate you.
ID.
I hate you. Did you hear that one? Can't stand this man.
Wait, if I say ID.
Yo, you follow Gallus in Paris? I'm pretty sure I'm butchering his name, son.
Ooh, who you talking about?
I'm gonna look him up. So I'm gonna stop doing this where I do this thing where like I know how to just say people's name like that.
Well, while he's looking that up, all right.
Yo, everybody gonna know who he is once I say his name the right way.
We are on episode 3. Today's topic we wanted to bring to y'all about knowing when to leave relationships, whether they're
I'm gonna look that joint
romantic, you know, friendships, any type of relationship, just knowing when to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this is a great topic for us, me, per se, because just being honest, I've always had a hard time of knowing when to leave dead situations alone. I'm the type of person that, like, you know, you gotta do something really fucking crazy.
So you the type of person that the dead animal on the side of the road, you like, but it could still be alive. No, it's dead.
Listen,
it's dead.
Let me poke it with a stick.
No, it's dead.
But yeah, and we thought that would be something good to speak on, being that, you know, we try to come at y'all with topics that, you know, we know a lot of people deal with and stuff that we deal with on the daily. Things that me and D are always just talking about.
Mm-hmm. And as a disclaimer, we're going to do this every time.
Every time.
Myself and Sean, we are not professionals.
Not
However, we have been through some stuff. Yep. So we just simply shed some light on the things that we've been through, talk about our experiences and the way that we handled them. We understand that we are not all knowing. So those of you that are going to do that weirdo thing where you try to check everything, I mean, I don't care. You live your best life, but it ain't going to affect me none. I'll tell you that right now.
Not a bit. But we still going to talk about it.
Absolutely. Speak on it, God.
God. But yeah, so I felt like this was a good time to bring this up, being that episode 2 is about relationships. Got a lot of positive feedback from people on that. Like, oh yeah, man, it was good to hear brothers talk about that, just off the strength that a lot of us don't normally talk about things like that. We want our voices to be heard. So we're going to speak on things that we feel are relevant that need to be spoken on. So, with that, D, what do you feel as if why do you feel like it's hard for some people like myself to get out of situations like that?
I mean, personally, I ain't no guru because I've had my fair share of stupidity myself.
That's what we calling it?
You can call it whatever you want. I'm labeling it for myself, just so the people them know that I don't just talk stuff about people. Nah, I put myself in the category of the people that I'm speaking to.
Okay.
So in terms of being stupid and staying when you're not supposed to, I think it stems from something a lot deeper than just this person. Like, you ever notice red flags and you know you seen these damn red flags, but you say to yourself shit like, nah, they not gonna do that to me. Bruh, they're going to do it to you too. And the problem is, I can, again, speak from personal experience, you come up with excuses for people because you say to yourself, nah, they wouldn't do that to me, or nah, they not really like that. And when you do that, what you're doing is looking for somebody's potential of what, you know, they could do something different, or maybe they won't do this the next time around. I personally and firmly believe, especially now, yo, people gonna do what the hell they gonna do. So I personally think if you in a friendship, relationship, anything, and you dealing with somebody who's being negative in your space, and they always, oh, you give them an idea and they like, oh, that's trash, or you doing something and then they don't even care that you're doing it. They just want to see the product or whatever the case is. Now you got somebody who's leeching off your energy. They don't really give a damn about you. They just want to know what you could do for them, which, you know, in this kind of moment kind of thing. So I personally, in terms of like being dumb, it happens to all of us.
Absolutely.
You know, but I personally think it stems from something just deeper. You know, there's conversations that I had to have with myself about like the people that I was bringing into my life. You know, like I'm fully transparent. I'm not somebody who points blame at nobody else. The things that I go through are the things that are the choices I made, because we all make choices in life. And some of them choices don't lead us down the path that we thought it would. But you're going to have to roll with those punches because you made that choice. So what you going to do now? So when dealing with people that's like taking your energy, bro, it's going to suck sometimes. But that person that you feel like you got to leave, sometimes they got to go, bro.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they got to go, bro.
And for the most part, what you call stupidity, I think for myself, it's a little bit harder because I've always tried. We spoke about this on the first episode. It's funny. I actually said it then.
Did you?
I try to see the potential in people instead of seeing for what they're presenting to my face. And that often leaves me in bad positions because it's like, yo, damn, they can be something great there. Why my roommate's dog is barking?
Nah, that's the streets calling you because they know how you be out here.
Calling my name. They be calling.
Who let the dogs out?
But yeah, nah, just honestly, it's like, I just get into a habit when I start feeling like that can be something really great for me, and I get into these points where I'm like, yo, if I give up too soon, I'm gonna miss out on that. And
but question to you now, and again, I ain't mean to cut you off,
no, you're right.
but if you feel like you're gonna miss out on them, what about the flip side? Like, what if they missing out on you? Like, what if you really not missing out on nothing?
You hit the nail in the coffin, because that's what people, myself included, have to start doing more. I'm getting into a habit of doing that now because that's how you protect yourself without being out here being an asshole, being cold, just being a fuckboy. You ain't gotta do all that. If you're real and true with yourself, put yourself first, which you have to do in any situation. Things like that won't continue to happen because as soon as you see the nonsense, you'll step away from it. My issue was always that nobody's really going to be out there trying to do someone that bad. That's what I always thought. That's what creeped into my mind. So when the crazy shit happened, that is why I always went off the deep end. Like, yo, why the fuck would you do this to me? And then you have everybody looking at me like, how you not see that coming? Nah,
but bruh, and then another thing, and we talk about this sometimes, son. It's also the ones that, again, like I said, we choose. Some of the, we gonna get personal now. I'm like, we don't name drop here, but you know the ones that I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
There's no reason why you should have chased them, bro.
Yeah.
And you know that, and it's things we talked about multiple times. But you know me, I'm not gonna sit up here and try to beat a dead horse. Like, I'm gonna tell you my personal opinion, how I feel about something. You do with that information what you will. I'm not going to sit up here and every single day tell you about how I feel. You know how. But if you ask me my opinion, it's not going to change, especially if it's about somebody that I know and I've told you, like, nah, bro, like, I don't know about that one, son.
The crazy part.
I don't know about that one, son.
The crazy part is I be knowing. Truth be told.
So then what's the issue?
It sounds, what I'm about to say is going to sound very hypocritical, and I'm aware of it. People often ask me about situations like that. What would I do? Blah blah blah. And I always tell them the opposite of what I would do because in a lot of those situations, I know I've handled it wrong. So like I always approach with I know what not to do because I've done it.
Now, my thing to you is if they ask you what would you do, and you tell them what you should do, wouldn't that be considered lying though?
No, that would me being a hypocrite.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not telling them that I did it. I'm telling them that I shouldn't have done it.
So you're telling them what should be done.
Do the complete opposite of
by learning from what you went through.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, in that, like I said, a friend of mine was going through a situation like that, and he was like, "Yo, like, I felt like you had something more to say." And I'm like, "It's not my place to tell you." And he was like, "Why?" Because I'm like, if I tell you what you need to hear, I'd be being the biggest hypocrite in the fucking world. And that doesn't sit right with me. Like, I'm not going to speak on something that I know I'm out here doing. That's stupid. Okay,
well, I'm glad you're not out here telling some stuff and not doing it, because you got to practice what you preach, bro. Absolutely.
And it's real. But my thing is always just how I am, and if anybody else is like that, then, we stand together. Once I develop those feelings for you, whether it's romantic, whether it's friendship, once I love you, that's deep for me. So you gotta, like, and I know it sucks and it's crazy for me to even say this. You gotta almost do something really fucking wild for me to just walk away from you. But don't get it twisted, because once I'm done, I'm done. Like, there's no, oh man, we can like, no, like, once the feelings for you are gone, they're gone. Now understand, when you really truly love somebody, you don't lose that love for them. You just learn how to love them from afar, because you can't. Hear me out.
No, I'm listening to you.
Because you can't necessarily sit up here and be like, oh, I love this person. You gotta actually know what love means. A lot of people don't. I know what it means.
Yeah.
And that's why I act the way I do once I feel that way, because me being the given person that I am.
And here's a question for you now.
Go ahead.
Do you ever think that you're giving love sometimes too much to the wrong people?
Absolutely.
Now, the reason why I say it is because I love love. I love it. Okay. But at the same time, I can't give it to everybody. Like, I get exactly what you're saying. I think we briefly talked about this last episode, but I personally think that the reason why we end up in situations is because of exactly what you said. I know you, brother. You a dude who loves love. I get it.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
I'm not falling to just be falling. That's not what it is.
I mean, I hear you, but at the same time, because what you're saying is that you mean that word. So then, how can you say it so many times if you mean it? Because I guess I'm playing devil's advocate, because the people then probably gonna want to know that.
Listen, it's not as crazy as it might sound. I haven't said it to as many people as you think.
Okay.
It's just that I've been. We're talking about it. I'm going to be really real and transparent. I've dealt with a lot of shitty women.
Speak on it, God.
So, to a point where I allow their, you know what? No, that sounds like I'm blaming them for my actions. Me myself then felt like I needed to act a certain way.
Accountability, ladies and gentlemen.
Me myself decided that I needed to act a certain way because those type of things kept happening to me, and I became for like 2 years a fuckboy. You can call it that. But I thought, if I was being honest about my fuckboyness, you can't really call me that. Nah,
you can still be that.
I was being that.
And you can still be that.
It didn't sit right with me. I was living a lie, because that's not who I am, and it led me to depression. No gas, diagnosed with depression. Once I came out of it, I still deal with it. I just know how to handle it and put myself in better situations so it doesn't cripple me like it did. I told myself, be real no matter what. Live your truths. It sucks. You're going to run into situations where people try to take advantage of it, but that's anything in life. You just got to learn how to rock and move away from it. Yeah. So now I feel like I'm at a space, being where I'm at, going through what I went through, that I'm better suited in handling it. Excuse me. I'm not perfect. I still slip up. But at the same time, for who you were talking about earlier, I would never go back to those steps. Okay. Because
and again, I'm happy to hear you say it. I'm just hoping that you mean it. I'm happy to hear you say it.
And not knowing when to get out, you were around for that. I'm gonna be all the way real.
You was around for my nonsense. We could talk about that in a second.
Listen, I'm gonna be all the way real with y'all. We're talking about it. I did some of the worst things I've ever done in reaction into what happened to me. And to this day, I talk to myself and never allow myself to get to that point, because it turned me into a fucking monster that night. Now, like, I'm not going to speak on everything that happened that night, but none of that was me, and I couldn't control myself.
What do you mean by when you say none of that was you? You mean you seen red?
Completely.
Oh, okay.
And to that point, I used to always think, yeah, you can get really upset. To feel like I was drinking and did not have any liquor in my body was insane. I felt drunk. So there's no excuse for it, but at the same time, I know to never allow myself to get to that point again. So, as far as what the topic of this episode is about, it's just like you gotta know when to get out, because I had a bad habit of just ignoring all of the red flags, and to the point where people would be fucking soccer referees in my face. Card me, red card.
Multiple people.
And I'd be like, nah, I'm arguing with them, like the player. I'm arguing with them, like, nah, I ain't do nothing, man. Give me a yellow. Like,
they be like, red card. Yeah, no, I don't know what he's talking about. Red card.
Like, nah,
flying on the play.
I ain't leaving the field. Fuck that. We protesting.
Nah, they hit you with the 12 man, yo. 12 man on the field.
Yo, but that was more of my issue, and I'm learning too. It's not just romantically either. It's you know, friendships.
Nah, I feel that. Like, cause even everything that you're talking about, like, you know, I could be very transparent myself. You know, I don't really like to talk about it too much, but I was dealing with some shit, you know. Sean know exactly what I'm talking about. Thing about it is, though, I did the exact opposite of you. Like, I mean, you do things very similar to what you did things very similar to what I did. You're more hard-headed than I am, though. You're way more hard-headed than I am. And I know I'm hard-headed.
They call me Juggernaut.
Listen, you know what I'm saying? My man's could run through a steel door, and the door is going to be damaged. But nah, like, I went through a similar kind of thing, but for me, it was a longer process. Like, I went through of coming up with excuses, ignoring red flags, you know, sweeping things under the rug, beating around the bush, all of that with a situation that I was dealing with. Okay. You know, and it got to a point where, you know, I, after the fact, know myself and the way that I should have been moving and the red flags that I saw and the things that I started to feel and started to see. But for whatever reason, I didn't want to leave because, or didn't want anything else to change because of the love that I have for that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want this to change. Like, I care about you kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Similar to your point with the whole with how you feel about love and stuff. Yeah. I'm very similar with that. But at the same time, after all of that was done, for me, I told myself, like, nah, I know what it's like when people really got me as opposed to when they don't. Like, I'm not going to speak on everything that happened because it's irrelevant at this point. The person that I was is not the man that I am today. So it's really irrelevant to kind of open up those wounds, but I learned from those things. Mm-hmm. The things that happened, the things that I tolerated, I'll never tolerate again because I don't blame another person for the things that I've gone through, the things that, like I said before, we all make choices. Choices happen no matter who you are. Okay. It happens, or what happens after you make those choices is just as important as the choices that you make. So if you made a wrong decision in having a friend in your life, a girl, boyfriend in your life, you got to own that and say, yo, damn, that's an L. I got to hold that. I got to eat that because you made the mistake. Ain't nobody else's fault. And again, I tell this to everybody. I talk to, how we talking right now is the same way I talk to myself. So when people be like, oh, nah, you probably don't live that. I bet you my bottom dollar I do. Yo, it's all about owning up to the stuff that you not perfect. But you can't sit up here and blame it on somebody else if things not going right in your life.
Honestly,
that's just not how that works. Like, you allowed this person to be here, so stop blaming them. And this is not directed at you. This is just, you can't blame somebody for the things that they've done if you allowed it to happen. If you ain't say shit, if you ain't do nothing, you can't be that upset. Now, what you can do the next time around is go, nah, bro, that can't happen twice. I'm going to set up boundaries. I'm going to do what I need to do so this don't happen again.
Just like
it's about learning, yo.
How I tried to say last episode, I messed the saying up.
What you say?
When you point one finger, you got 3 more pointing.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Because I don't know what the hell you said last time. You said some. Nah, I wasn't. I was going to let you just fumble that whole thing, bro.
But yeah, honestly, my early 20s, that's all I did. Every time something bad happened, it was their fault. I had nothing to do with it. Mm-hmm. It was their fault. It was their fault. But when you feel that way about somebody, you also have to be able to understand the person as well. Mm-hmm. I could honestly say, out of I've been in 3 serious relationships. 3 actual relationships. There was a whole bunch of girls that I fell for, but never were actually with.
All right, bro. I was about to say, don't be out here lying to the people now.
But
I'm about to say 3, nigga. That number a little low.
To the ones I can actually say, yo,
okay,
that was my girlfriend.
Okay. Oh, the exclusives. Okay,
yes.
Okay. I feel that. I respect. Okay.
2 of them. When I want to say around the age of 26, have you looked me in my face and asked me what happened? I would have just been like, it was all their fault. They did everything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Maturing, growing, going through what I've been through since then, and just learning, like, you know what? Who's the common denominator in every single one of those situations?
Exactly.
So I had to take a long, hard look at myself. Like, yo, as much as you want to sit up here and blame them, something you doing wrong, because you're giving them the opportunity to do what they did. So you got to figure out in yourself, like, yo, what the fuck are you looking for? That shit keeps happening. Just be real. I'm still not there in finding all of the answers.
Mm-hmm.
I know what some of it is.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with not knowing when to get out of a situation, because a person, even if they don't say it to you, they're going to show you how they want you in their life.
Yo, first of all, things like simple actions of how's your day.
Straight up.
That goes a long way, bro.
Straight up.
The thing is, though, people don't look at body language. Mm-hmm. They just listen to words, and words sound beautiful.
Facts.
Bro, if you watch people's body language, you don't need to listen to anything that they say. You don't need to listen to a single word that they say, because anything that they're saying, and if it don't match their body language, you can see it right there. But people don't watch body languages. Mm-hmm. So, like, even talking, like, having these people and when you should be leaving, real talk, people, I include myself with people, need to get better at acknowledging when these people don't deserve their time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had again, and this goes kind of synonymous to what we were talking about last week with this idea of ghosting, right? Like, it's this idea. You good, son? You good?
I'm good.
It's this idea, like,
cat's bad.
I can't, you know what I'm saying? Boo. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand. And I didn't really get into the tirade, but I was talking to another friend of mine a couple days ago, and it actually enlightened me a little bit, because I had this idea, right? This theory that ghosting is not a real thing, right? Hear me out.
Okay, I'm listening.
Ghosting is not a real thing, because ghosting, by definition, what we give it to it at least, ghosting is when you no longer speak to somebody, right? You no longer speak to them, you don't contact them. If they hit you up, you don't hit them back. That's my definition of ghosting.
Okay.
If you don't speak to somebody, or you guys collectively don't speak, because remember, communication is a two-way street. If y'all both don't hit each other up, is that really ghosting, or y'all just living your lives and then you come back and talk about what you need to talk about? Because the reason why I don't feel like ghosting is real is because it's a term that I personally feel has been coined with the cutoff culture that we live in. There's so many people who are willing to be like, nah, I don't really care about you. Yo, people are so willing to cut other people off.
It's like a weird ass pride.
Yo, I'm cool with cutting off people that deserve to be cut off, like we talking about. Don't stick in something and be stupid. But
be on social media, taking pride in, like, yeah, I made that person look stupid. That's cool. Like,
yo, but there are people, and again, like I said, and this all stemmed from a friend again I was talking to, and long story short, I haven't spoken to them in a while.
Okay.
Because, as you see, I'm getting my life together. Those my close people, y'all know what's going on. I'm trying to get things together, and y'all know that. My whole thing is, if you know who I am as a person, and you claim to be my friend, and I step away for a little bit, and I'm getting my stuff together, I might not do it the best way. I can admit that. Maybe I could do a better job. But if you know that I'm only working on the things I need to get my mental together, get my financials together, get me together, and we speak, and in the process of us speaking, you say things like, I was about to cut you off because we didn't talk. Bruh, next person to do that, I'm handing them the scissors, because I'm never going to tell you to leave. However, if you threatening to take away your time from me and you want me to beg you, I'm not doing that. Because think about it. Most people want you to beg them when they say things like, I'm going to cut you off. Why? Because they want to feel more important. But think about this. If a person came up to you and said that they had a conscious decision to cut you off, that means they sat down and thought about it. Why would I take the time out of my day to try to convince you over a thought that you had that was your own conscious thought, unless that's not your full conscious thought? Now we have an issue, because either you lied about the fact that you want to cut me off and you just want attention, or you really want to cut me off. Either way, I don't have time for it. So either leave or stay. I'm not going to force you to, But if you playing these games of cutting off and you threatening to do it now. Do it.
Just do it.
Yo, bro, I'm sick of getting gaslit into feeling like I did something wrong because I'm working on myself. I'm done explaining myself when I'm working on my stuff.
You shouldn't have to.
Exactly. I shouldn't have to. Mm-hmm. So I don't like the ghosting culture. I don't believe that it's real. The cutoff culture is cool. For like we said, those people that got to leave, they got to go.
And like, if you don't need to speak on it because they're being that negative light energy in your life, bye. There's the door. But at the same time, I feel exactly what you're saying, and I agree with it. I want to say how I approach situations like that now.
Okay.
I'm honest about it. I'm gonna let you know straight up. I can't do this with you.
Mm-hmm. In terms of what, like just having a discussion, argument, whatever.
No, it's not gonna be an argument. If you try to make it an argument, I'm not gonna allow myself to make it because it's pointless. Why are you gonna argue with somebody you already telling like, yo, I'm not talking to you no more? Why are you gonna argue with them? That's dumb. Because my thing is, you cutting that person off for a reason. You're gonna go into the next day with that same bad energy. Now, granted, some people you're gonna have to do that with. It's not gonna be easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to suck that next morning. Like, you know that feeling in the morning when you just went through some shit.
Yeah.
And then you wake up out of sleep, and that's the first thing that hits you. And it's like, yo, like,
word.
Like, so I get it. The shit's not going to be simple, but one life to live, man. Like, you can't keep bad people around for just dumb reasons. Like, oh man, I've known this person for years, and I tell people all the time.
Yep. I used to do that heavy,
I
yo.
know people who
heavy.
I know people who are more for me that I've met in the last 6 months that are better to me than people I've known my entire life.
Speak on it, God.
So like, that's the one thing we also do, and that's another reason why it's hard for you to cut people off sometimes.
Why?
The length of how long they've known them.
Oh, big facts.
So
big facts.
It's like, damn, this person's been in my life forever. Why do I feel now that I need to just dead things with them? Mm-hmm. But it's like,
but the question
hold on to that.
And the question I feel like everybody should ask themselves is, what is this person bringing to my life in terms of positivity? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying what do they bring to the table. I'm saying, if this person were in your life, if they were to come into your space, into your home, what would they provide? Would they provide a good vibe? Would they provide good energy? Would they provide something to your life? If the answer to that question is no, and I'm not talking about money, I'm not talking about sex, I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about, if this is your friend, if this is somebody you're trying to vibe with, whatever the case is, when they're there, do you feel better or do you feel worse? Because I tell you right now, I know what it feels like when you with somebody who's fun as hell and when somebody that stresses you the hell out. I know the difference, and I've been on both ends of those spectrums
what about
before.
The people who bring that funness, that good energy to your life, but then there's that one thing that's like that one thing about them.
It depends what that one thing is, because everybody's different, and it depends also what kind of relationship you're trying to get out of it. Like, if you're trying to get a friendship, if this is somebody that like their time management skills suck, and that's like the worst thing about them, but that's just your friend, it's like, all right, well, you know, nickname might be Ness or something like that, and they might always make you wait. What? Your name's Sean, bro. I don't know anybody named Ness. Do you? Me neither. But I'm saying, if I mean Elliot Ness. From what I heard, he used to always make people wait whenever they had to go pick him up, and they used to hate that. But again, that's not what we're talking about right now.
The FBI?
No, I'm talking about.
Who the fuck?
Anyway, like I was saying.
Yeah, because that nigga sound crazy.
Do he? Yeah, he sound wild.
He sound like a
But like I was saying, that dude. Anyway, like I was saying before I started messing with you. It's just this idea I personally feel of everything, with this idea of keeping this person around, and like you said, what if it's that they're always popping and then there's one thing wrong. It's all about what you as an individual are willing again to tolerate, or not. Excuse me, I shouldn't say tolerate. What you're willing to accept. Okay. Because let's say you want this person to be your friend, like I was getting ready to the point I was going to make, and their time management is trash. That doesn't mean they suck as a friend. That just means that they have bad time management. Are you willing to put up with that? Or is that a deal breaker for you where you're like, nah, that time management, it sucks? Because if you don't like that, don't keep that person around. And it's never, repeat after me, y'all, it's never that deep. The reason why we get hurt when people leave us is because of our emotional attachment. If you realize, like, yo, it's not that deep, and you realize whatever case, like, let's say this person walks away from you because they got to work on some stuff. Fact. It ain't you. You didn't do nothing wrong. Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. You don't gotta take it personal, bro.
Baby.
It's never that deep. And the people will always say to me like, "Yo, Dante, you make it seem like it's never that deep." If you really think about it, like seriously, if you really think about relationships you've been in, if you've been in a job that you've had, remove your emotion from it and see what happened. I guarantee you'd be able to find the funny things in it. Yo, my past stuff, bro. When I tell you I can write a sketch on some of the things, I'm telling you I could write a sketch on some of it because I'm removed from it. You feel me? Dante's Life featuring
we can call it Dante's Inferno.
No. You know, I knew you were going to say it, and that's why I hate you.
That was a knee slapper.
We can call it Dante Cult Pepper.
All right. We're going to move on from that.
Oh, man.
That was terrible.
Nah, but the people love it.
Did they?
Yeah. Nope, that's the people. Thank you. Thank you, y'all. Thank you for the joke. I appreciate y'all.
People are slow. Anyway, that shit was terrible.
Don't be a hater. You can't be a hater all your life. You can't be a hater all your life, bro.
Whatever you say.
But no, again, to your original point, I believe personally it depends on the kind of relationship you're trying to have. Because nobody's perfect. Everybody has flaws. Everybody has perks. Everybody has good things. Everybody has bad things. But back to your original point about love and things like that. You keep those people in your life that you care about genuinely and deeply. You don't expect anything from them. You just love them for who they are. And again, I don't necessarily just mean boyfriend, girlfriend. I also mean friends, brothers, sisters, whatever it is. But if you genuinely love them, like you say you do, this isn't nothing for you, Sean. If you love somebody the way that you say you do, you're saying those words, you better fucking mean it. Because if I personally tell somebody I love them, exactly what you said, I mean it. So for me personally, I don't drop that. There's been on one hand, I can tell the amount of people that I told I love them, other than my brothers and my family members.
And
I don't drop that word to everybody. Absolutely not.
It's trash because
you honestly, if you over here just loving and falling in love with everybody, that's an honest problem. If you're falling in love with every single person you're coming across, that's crazy.
And that's why, like, I tell people, like, that word doesn't get thrown out loosely.
No, some people throw that word out loosely as fuck. I thought you were saying that, you from you. Okay, okay.
Strictly from me.
Okay, I was going to say, that word gets thrown out left and right, bruh.
I've watched people do it.
Yeah, shout out to Bill and Melinda, right?
Yeah.
What's that, 27?
But old boy was taking his ex on trips, though.
Yo, listen, I'm not a billionaire. I don't know that life, bro. Excuse me. Universe, I'm not a billionaire yet. Thank you.
Yeah. Shout out to Comb Your Beard. But
CYB.
Anyway, but money isn't everything, but I think that had a lot to do. We're going to speak on that situation now. That had a lot to do with why she was putting up with that shit. Because I don't give a fuck how much money you make. You're not about to sit up here and tell me you about to take trips with your fucking ex-boyfriend every summer. That shit is out.
Listen, I'm not a billionaire, and I'm also not going to be nobody's man. So it would be my situation of being the one with the girl. Mm-hmm. I personally couldn't do it, But again, I'm also not a billionaire. I don't live Bill Gates' lifestyle, so maybe it works for them.
See, but
it works for them, bro.
That's what I do. Clearly, it didn't work.
No, they probably brought that up because they divorced.
But she probably held on to that shit for years and probably got to a point like, I can't do this anymore.
But see, that's trash.
People do that.
But you knew about it.
How many crazy long ass relationships
that's
in now?
Trash.
You gotta think about it. The humankind is living longer.
Yeah.
So people don't give a fuck. Like, I'm in my 50s and 60s. Fuck that. I'm about to live the rest of my years. People don't give a fuck.
But my thing is, if somebody told you what it was from rip, you can't be upset that they're doing it. Now, if he I hear exactly what you're saying, but don't agree to something that down the line. Me personally, I'll never put myself in a situation anymore, air quote, not even air quote, anymore, that I can't get myself out of. If I'm in a situation with somebody and they tell me something that they're doing and I don't like it, ain't gonna be I'll agree because I love you. No, that's like said, stupid.
People do that often,
and that's stupid.
Some people feel like, you know what? If I love this person enough, maybe, like, for example,
but again, I can admit to being stupid, so that's why I'm saying it.
What's her face? Jeezy's wife.
Oh, I'm terrible celebrity wives, bro. I know she looked good.
Jeannie Ma, that's her name.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh yeah, ain't she on Table Talk, one of them joints?
On a real.
Yeah, there you go. I know it's with table involved though, right?
Man said table talk. Anyway, she put out there her ex-husband. They had got divorced not because nothing bad was going on. She put out there that she doesn't want kids.
Mm-hmm.
She knew that he wanted kids.
Mm-hmm.
He thought that he loved her enough that he can deal with her not wanting it.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, it started to become an issue for him.
Mm-hmm.
But he still didn't want to leave her. So you know what she did?
What?
She left him.
Okay.
But not for all the wrong reasons. So going back to what I was saying earlier, some people think that, oh, I can love you enough to let that part of it go.
Mm-hmm.
But not realizing, like, yeah, it's good for the moment, but it eventually will start to eat at you.
And that's why you have to know yourself.
Exactly.
If you know yourself, you won't agree to something that you don't honestly agree with.
But most people don't know themselves.
And that's the problem.
And that's why it's hard for people to let shit go.
So why are we coming up with excuses for them?
It's not an excuse.
Okay.
It's what it is.
No, it isn't. I understand exactly what it is. Sometimes it is hard to let go. But if you understand or you take the time out to learn more about yourself, you don't put yourself in those situations no more. I understand exactly what you're saying. It's just that I used to be somebody who likes to be coddled. I don't believe in coddling anymore because it doesn't help anything.
You like to be cuddled?
I hate you. I do. I actually like to be the little spoon sometimes.
Yo.
Though. The big spoon is cool. Oh my bad. I didn't know you was giving me love, bro. First of all, the big spoon is cool every now and again, but there are some days where sometimes I want to be the little spoon too. That's cool. I accept it.
Me being big.
Nah, you too damn big to be the little spoon, son. No matter what, you always gonna be the big ass ladle. No matter where you position yourself.
Why your big ass trying to be held? Like, I want to be held. Like, I'm bald too. I'd be cool.
Nah, see, you just want your head rubbed. That's what it is.
I want all of it. Both heads.
That's what I thought you.
Yo, like, so when girls see me try to do that shit, they be on some other shit. Like, you too big for that. But that man, I'm still a person.
Nah, you are too big to be.
I don't want to hear that shit.
And I said, first of all, you got me way off topic because I said coddled.
I was being an ass.
You were being facetious.
Facetious.
I like words. Facetious is one of those words that I really like. But what was I saying, yo? I fucking hate you. Son.
You said you like to be coddled.
No, I said I don't like to be. Yo, I really can't stand you, yo. I said I don't like to be coddled because what happens is when you get coddled and people, tell you that, oh, it's going to be all right and you always do things right and blah, blah, blah. Yo, that's not real, bro. Like, I get exactly what everybody's saying. Be nicer. Like some of these people, maybe they're just choosing things because, but guess what? I also chose something wrong. And the reason why I'm so adamant about getting it together is because we all can do it, but everybody would rather just complain about the things that are going wrong. We all have the capability to do more, to get more. If you don't want somebody in your life, don't keep them there. Move on. But people have a tendency, again, like I said, where it's like you even said it.
Like there's an imaginary gun to their head.
Yo, I'm not asking you to stay.
Facts.
Yo, first of all, I don't like it. Mm-hmm. Bruh, you see my face.
I see it.
They
see your face.
They see it too. I don't, bruh. It's one of those things where it's like, yo, don't waste my time.
Okay.
And if you are gonna waste my time, I'm not gonna be mad. I promise you, I'm not gonna get angry. I'm not gonna flip no tables. I'm simply going to exit. I don't have time.
Stage left.
I don't have time. My peace, my happiness comes first. I know how selfish it sounds. I'm okay with that.
Listen,
I'm okay with being the bad guy. It's quite all right because you know who's gonna be cool with it a couple years from now? This guy. I'll be fine.
My mother asked me, I don't live necessarily extremely far away from the rest of my family, but I live far enough to I know that they're not going to visit all the time. Mm-hmm. So my mother asked me why I did that. Because I'm like, Mom, sometimes my peace is needed. And I love y'all to death, but sometimes I need to get away. And that's not saying that you guys are bad for me, none of that. But your peace should come first.
Absolutely.
And because how could you bring peace to anybody else's life if you don't bring peace to your own? And I had to learn how to do that. And because I used to always be like, man, my friends live here. My family lives here. I have to be around all that.
It's okay to take Sean time.
I can move. I honestly can move. Let's say I move to California right now and be fine. Mm-hmm. Phone, social media makes the world smaller, so that makes it a lot easier to stay in contact with the people from home. But at the same time, I enjoy my alone time. And that's the crazy part.
Alone time is popping.
You know what's crazy?
Ain't nothing crazy about alone time. Alone time's popping.
Here, where I'm about to go with this. In my hardships from cutting people off, in the situations I've been in, people often assume that I need to be around others.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so far from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy my alone time so much. It's just that, like I said, once I have those feelings for you, romantically, I want you to be my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to approach it like, yo, let's be best friends.
Oh, that's a whole nother problem
I'm going to plan everything out. Not like, oh man, I'm trying to show her to the world. No, I want to plan this shit out like I want to have so much fucking fun with you,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can have sexy time after.
Mr. Nasty Time.
But
You feel me?
you feel me?
You feel
You
me?
gonna feel me afterwards, but nah.
You feel me?
But my thing is, that's always been my approach.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in me doing that, especially when you do it for the wrong people, that's what puts you in these really, really piss poor situations.
So long story short, y'all, get rid of those people that don't add any value to your life. Long story short. Don't stay in something, whether it's a friendship, relationship. Well, I won't get into the marriage concept because I'm not married, so I'm not going to be one of those guys.
Neither.
But I believe in marriage, so I won't even comment on that. But
2 + 2
friendship,
does not equal 6.
no one said it did.
It equals 4. So if you in a situation where you feel like 2 + 2 is equaling 6, run.
That was actually a really good analogy. I didn't know where he was going with that, y'all.
You see where I was coming with that?
Nah, I didn't see where he was going with that.
I could pull out quotes too.
But that's not a quote. That's just throwing out numbers. And you did it very well. I'll give you that. But that's all that was.
It was dope though.
Nah, it was mad eye.
Wow, that was real haterish of you.
Was it though?
Mad eye?
Because it was mad eye.
Deep, real deep.
It was mad eye.
Deep blue sea.
You do look like LL though. Yo, when the video come out, they gonna see. Yo, take off the hat, son.
Yo, fuck you.
Head gonna be like, ching.
I made a TikTok the other day about how every big black ball guy gets called every
Yo,
other big black
son,
ball
you
guy.
do look like Ving Rhames though.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You know what? In this shit, man. Kiss my ass.
Kiss my ass, so what? Don't care. Yeah, y'all. So long story short, make sure that you always just looking out. Not necessarily always looking out for yourself, but you matter. So if you dealing with people who are draining your energy, you dealing with people who don't appreciate who you are, real talk, why are you there? What value are they adding? If the answer to that is I don't know, then you got some thinking to do.
Facts. With that being said, that's the end of this episode. Once again, shout out to No Talent Beats. He's about to take us out. Perfect.